Hello, everyone. My name is Emily, and I am the host of a new talk series called Conservative Blackout News. Now, just by the name conservative, that automatically probably indicates that this is all about right wing politics. But to be perfectly honest, not I'm not that I'm not the best person to come up with a show name. So I've been struggling with what to call this show. And I used to have a show called Butterfly Blackout, which really came from a show that I was working on years ago called Blackout. And I wanted to keep the name in there because it's so near and dear to my heart. So I just decided to call it Conservative Blackout News. Here we're going to really discuss a lot of the issues that are plaguing our communities and the nation. We have gotten into a point where there's no communication. We don't talk to each other. We are just calling each other names. We are unhappy with the presidential results, even though we have them every 4 years. One side is going to be upset. Another side is going to be happy. We go through this every time. But this time it's a bit different. This time we have fallen apart. People are so upset and refuse to actually hear anything anyone is saying. We should be able to have dialogue, agree, disagree, and still be able to break bread at the end of the day. But we don't do that. Now, what makes this part different with the show is that I am primarily focusing not only on political topics, but I will be touching on entertainment and really honing in on what's going on in Newark, New Jersey. We have a lot of people. The biggest issue we have is that people cater to just one side of everything, where it kind of makes me feel like, what's the truth? Like, there's a truth, there's your truth, there's their truth, but what's the truth? One minute you tell us we have services for the homeless, the next minute we don't have services for the homeless. But then we get all this funding for services for the homeless, and yet we're still lost as to why the homeless have no services. It's like this cycle of craziness that keeps going and going and going. So definitely we're going to explore topics like that. We have a governor election coming up this November. Primaries happening soon. And a lot of people are for one person, especially in New Jersey. They are for the mayor of Newark, Ras J. Baraka. And I want to explore that because a lot of the supporters don't live in Newark. And they think that things are just wonderful. And I want to explore why that is. Because it seems like if we tell you something that's not great, you just don't want to believe it. You refuse to believe it. And nobody holds anybody accountable for anything. We could tell you that you're doing something wrong. We just want you to fix it. Nothing happens. You can go to a council meeting and you could show up there every month for 5 years. And on year 6, show up to talk about the same thing that has never been addressed because nobody wants to address it. So what do we do? Who do we talk to? Let's explore that because we all need to come back to reality. We are floating between reality and crazy, and it's getting out of hand. So that's why I developed Conservative Blackout News, because this is something that we need to examine. We need to examine our relationship with Democrats. We need to examine our relationship with Republicans. We need to examine relationships with independents and those who don't vote. Our relationship with the current Black Panther or the new Black Panther Party. We need to explore all avenues. Even we have other parties that exist, like the Green Party and whoever else, that nobody really deals with. We need to examine those. And then we also need to examine school board. As you know, or if you don't know, and I say if you don't know because many people don't know, many people stop listening to the news. I can't say they read a paper, what paper is being printed, but they don't look at the internet like that. Many people like to see entertainment goofiness because they don't want to be too serious, and that's understandable. We have a school board election. Many people haven't heard, or they have heard, that President Donald Trump signed an executive order to do away with the Department of Education, giving control to the states. For many people, that's a problem, but we need to examine why. Because a lot of people that are making noise, they don't participate in the voting for their local Board of Education board. So it's quite interesting to hear people's opinions and to get a better understanding as to what is really going on. So I hope you join me on this journey. I have a lot more content coming, and I hope that you're understanding and you open your eyes, your ears, and let's just be kind to one another. Recently, many people have heard from a local talk show, radio show, The Breakfast Club, and how they had I want to say an HR meeting on air because one of the hosts felt a type of way, just hilarious, felt like somebody was coming for her job, basically. And instead of treating her feelings like they matter, there's so much hate going on. So many people calling her out of her name. And that's just wrong. It's like, when did we stop being kind to each other? When did we stop being compassionate? Why do we think it's okay to call a woman out of her name, to call her the B word, to say that she's dealing with post-traumatic stress, and just to be ignorant, basically? So we're going to examine that a little bit and some other things. But I just wanted to make this introduction because it's been a minute since I've been on here to do something like this. I had a weekly show, Butterfly Blackout with Truth Vibe, and I'm so grateful to them for that opportunity. And right now I'm solo, so I'm hoping that you all do join me and we just take a look at how to bring us all back so we can break bread together and stop being crazy. Because if we work together, we could all thrive. Anyways, I hope to see you soon.